Jiu-Jitsu is a combat art, so injuries do come with the territory. But an even bigger problem is returning to training after that injury. So if you've been injured in the past and haven't returned to Jiu-Jitsu yet, or maybe you're currently injured and are wondering how to go about that, or you just want to be mentally prepared if this ever happens to you, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Now, I want to start this off with a little story about how I was injured in jiu-jitsu in a pretty serious way that took me about 4 months to get back to training. Now, the more I tell this story, the more I question my own timeline, but I believe this was at the end of white belt. It was certainly in the beginning of my jiu-jitsu journey, and I was sparring with a upper belt. He had acquired a front headlock and it was pretty tight. Now, due to my inexperience, I wasn't aware of how he had it set up. I thought he had it set up one way and it was set up another way. And I exploded to escape this position in the wrong direction. And for those of you who have ever done this, maybe exploding into a choke rather than out of it, exploding into an armbar instead of out of it, you know how painful and violent this can be. So because I exploded in the wrong direction, what I ended up doing was destroying the disc between C5 and C6 and my cervical spine. I heard and felt a loud crunch. I saw a bright white flash of light. And next thing I knew, I was face down on the mat without the ability to get myself into a push-up position. And the wildest part was I could feel that synovial fluid from that ruptured disc leaking down my spinal cord like thick, warm soup. It was so creepy, so eerie, and I immediately knew that I had hurt myself in a really bad way. Fast forwarding to getting all my digital imagery done, like x-rays and MRIs, the doctors did confirm that that disc between C5 and C6 was ruptured, but was ruptured so violently that it exploded into 3 arms. One went up my spinal cord, one went down my spinal cord, and one went into my spinal cord by 22 millimeters. And I remember looking at the MRI images where that arm was impinging my spine, and it looked like my spinal cord had disappeared there. So the result of this was my left arm becoming basically paralyzed. I couldn't even hold a water bottle with my left hand. And I even struggled to walk, not because I was paralyzed, although my legs were very clumsy after this. The pain caused by the vibrations of every step traveling up my spinal cord was so intense that walking wasn't even practical. It was one of the most interesting and unique, intense pains I've ever felt in my life. The doctors basically said if I ever wanted to lead an active life again, I would need the surgery. And honestly, I believed them with how much pain I was in. So I went ahead and got the cervical spine fusion done. And that honestly was a little bit more brutal than I had expected. If you don't know what that is, basically they cut the front of your neck open and they fuse the vertebra that surround that ruptured disc together. They'll take a bone spacer from a cadaver and put that in where that disc used to be, and then fuse that all together. And what's even more interesting is they'll take a piece of your bone and grind it into a powder, and then they mix that with your blood to make a bio-glue. And when they drill that fusion into your vertebra, they use that bio-glue or that bio-paste to make sure everything sets nice and strong. The reason I'm telling you this is because I had to sit extremely still for like 3 months, okay? I was starting to incorporate movement after the 3rd month. So let's set the stage a little bit. I'm someone who lifts weights. I'm someone who trains jiu-jitsu, and now hard stop because of an injury, because of surgery, I can't move at all. And I'll tell you right now, I played a lot of video games and I ate a lot of Chinese food, and I let myself go completely. And during that phase, I experienced depression, anxiety, feeling like I wasn't myself anymore. It was a really rough time, not just physically, but mentally. So for those of you who are currently experiencing an injury and it's preventing you from doing what you want to do, I know how you feel. I know how brutal that is. And my hope by telling you this story is that I gain your trust in that way. And you also can know that these tips I'm gonna give you will help get you back online with your jiu-jitsu training. Now, I was cleared by my doctor to start training jiu-jitsu very lightly around the 4th month. And you gotta understand, by this time, absolutely no cardio, lost a lot of muscle, and I gained some fat, okay? I was a totally different person. And on top of all of that, I was very, very rusty. I hadn't trained in months. The biggest and best thing you can do when you're returning to jiu-jitsu after an injury is to go slow. Just go slow. Obviously, jiu-jitsu is a trust-based system and you can tap if something doesn't feel right, but why even put yourself in a position where you're sparring? You can just drill. However your academy trains Do the stuff that is inspiring. Do the stuff that doesn't put a lot of pressure on your body. And keep in mind, if you're someone who's like a purple belt or a brown belt or even a black belt, putting yourself back on the mats with people who you would normally beat so easily, that can be ingredients for disaster. If you put yourself in a sparring situation when you're not ready to spar with someone you used to beat all the time, and they start to put the heat on you, because let's be honest, you know, we're all a little opportunistic. We're like, oh man, if I have a chance to tap this brown belt, he's weak and vulnerable right now, people are probably gonna take it, right? It's all out of good fun, but that's ingredients for disaster. So don't even put yourself in a position to spar just yet. Return slow. Flow maybe at the most. Obviously, this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. But I'm telling you, from my own experience, to return slow. And keep in mind, jiu-jitsu is filled with unique movements. Even when people who've been physically active for years and years and years come to jiu-jitsu as a white belt, a lot of these moves are really unique and strange, and some of them beginners can't even do because they haven't trained for it yet. You don't want to tempt further injury by trying to do some of the stuff that we do in here if you've been sitting on your butt for months. Taking it slow is everything. It also eliminates any kind of drive from your ego. We all know we go through ego death in jiu-jitsu, but I think a little bit of ego is good because it gives you an edge, it gives you drive. Where that can hurt you is when you're trying to come back from an injury. And I'll be the first to admit that I have a little bit of that. I feel invincible. Even when I have an injury, I feel like I can still push myself in ways that I probably shouldn't. And that's the ego talking. There's no need to push yourself. You want longevity, you want to heal correctly, you want to have a full recovery. Once you're clear to go back, enter slow, and you're checking all the boxes. You're getting your movement in, you're getting your techniques in. I mean, you may even remember how to do everything, but your body probably doesn't. Your brain's telling you to do one thing and your body can't accomplish it. Yeah, frustration can sneak in and then you really push it, and next thing you know, you've re-injured yourself. Returning slow doesn't mean you're weak. It's playing it smart. And if you want to do jiu-jitsu for a long time, you got to play it smart. Most people don't realize this, but your gear can either help you or hold you back. Now, I've been training in jiu-jitsu gear for a long time, and most of it looks good online, but falls apart when it actually matters. That's exactly why I wear X Martial. This isn't just clean designs, it's performance-built gear. You get a compression fit that actually moves with you, durability that holds up during the hardest of rounds, and designs that don't look like every other basic rash guard on the mat. Whether you're drilling, competing, or going to war with one of your favorite training partners, X Martial is built for it. It's lightweight, it's breathable, and it's made for people who actually train. If you're serious about your jiu-jitsu, your attire should match that. So go check out X Martial, grab yourself a set or 2 or 3, and if you're smart, you use my code IRONWILL to save yourself some money. Train harder, roll longer, and look sharp doing it. Let's get back to the video. Another thing you can focus on when you're in active recovery during the months where you cannot train at all is to still keep your brain active. You can watch jiu-jitsu content. You can even go to your training center and watch class if your injury doesn't prevent you from moving, right? Keeping your brain sharp costs no extra physical effort to you. You're still able to keep your body in a state of recovery while keeping the brain sharp. I think that, at least for me, when I go into a state of recovery, I just say screw it all. You know, I let go of my diet. I let go of visual training. I let go of everything, and I'm just in a state of playing video games and being lazy. That is probably fine for a small amount of time, but if you want to return to training and you don't want to be unnecessarily far behind, keep your brain active. Now, if you've been training long enough, you've probably come across a coach here or there that says don't watch jiu-jitsu content on social media. And for the most part, that's really sound advice. And obviously that's coming from me, a person who makes jiu-jitsu content, but there is no filtration system that allows only good instructors to put out information. There are some wild techniques and some crazy things that you probably don't need to learn. And there's poor technique shown online as well. So, you know, I want to take it a step further. Instead of just saying, don't watch anything on social media for jiu-jitsu, you need to find trusted content. You need to find trusted creators that make good content that aren't going to steer you left of center. The good news is, if you're a purple belt or beyond, you have a good radar for bad or good jiu-jitsu content. You know if something looks a little bit off or if someone's teaching it a little bit incorrectly. And of course, there's multiple ways to teach techniques, but purple belts and on, your radars are solid. White belts and blue belts, you have to be a little bit more careful because you haven't developed your radar yet, okay? So if you are someone who's looking for reliable jiu-jitsu content, you can ask your upper rank training partners who they're watching. You can even jump in the comments down below and ask each other who's worth watching. If you need reliable content, it is out there. And that's exactly what you can be doing when you're in a state of recovery and can't move your body. As we wrap this up, I want to put the cherry on top by really sending home the idea that returning to jiu-jitsu after an injury is all about keeping your ego in check. Your body's not going to move like you want it to. You're going to be rusty. Your cardio is going to be gone. You're probably going to be physically weaker. All of these things make returning to training feel a bit more scary because it's your ego talking. As long as you can keep an open mind, stay humble, and remember that you're a human being and you're not invincible and you're in a state of less than what you normally are, you're totally fine. And it happens to almost everyone. Don't let an injury be your final chapter to jiu-jitsu. And sure, there's people out there who've been hurt and they'll say, screw it, I'm done with it. No disrespect there, no judgments. No, I was almost that person. But if you can help it, at all, don't let an injury be your final chapter. Unless your injury has left you paralyzed, there's always a way around. And I'm sure that'll probably make some people feel angry, and it's not meant to. What I really want is to encourage you to get back to it because jiu-jitsu is a beautiful art. It has so many benefits and it can be life-changing in a good way if you let it. If you guys have any injury victory stories where you were injured and made your way back to training, drop it in the comments. We can all feel inspired and motivated by that, myself included. I want to hear about what you guys battled and conquered in your jiu-jitsu experience. And with that, you know how we like to end them. New videos every Monday, sometimes backwards, always forwards. I'll see you in the next one.